All right, guys. So this is something quite powerful. Twitch may be found out finally what happens when you let people talk quite severe stuff on the platform and you don't take action. The CEOs of Discord, Reddit, Twitch, and Steam have been invited to testify before Congress about the radicalization of online forum users. Why is this a problem? Of course, this is after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and they are now very concerned that, yes, on social media, there are certain areas of the social media where people are potentially being radicalized. I mean, especially some streamers like Hassan has been seen many times saying very powerful, strong stuff to its viewers, which were lots of people. And these things, he says that, oh no, it was like out of character, or he wasn't really, I would never enforce what I said, or I didn't mean what I said, basically making excuses when he is asked publicly about those very deranged statements, right? This is the Congress of USA executive order or petition, basically. Dear Mr. Clancy, the Committee of Oversight and Government Reform requests your testimony at a hearing on the 8th of October, very soon, in room. All right. The hearing will examine radicalization of online forum users, including incidents of open incitement to commit violent, politically motivated acts, which we've seen people on Twitch have promoted in the past. To confirm your appearance at the hearing, please contact the Committee on Oversight and Government Reform staff. Please provide your written testimony at least 2 business days prior to the hearing. You will have the opportunity to provide a 5-minute opening statement prior to answering questions posed by members. The Committee on Oversight and Government Reform is the principal oversight committee in the U.S. House of Representatives and has a broad authority to investigate any matter at any time under House rules. Right, so yeah, this is really strong stuff, especially as people have been calling like the behaviors such as Tecton. He called out the behaviors and asked for Twitch to take punitive actions against Hassan Piker, Michael Bayer, and others because of their very inflammatory comments and videos online. This is just one example from Hassan, by the way. This is the type of rhetoric that has been promoted on Twitch and encouraged. No warnings, no bans, front page, and happy birthday wishes. Yesterday is what happens when people like this go unpunished. This is what Hassan said in one of his videos, right? This was public. This is what he said. He said this in front of many thousands of viewers, man. Look at this. I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be showing your opponents gut on there. You need to be gutting them. You need to be shanking these people, letting their intestines. What the F is this, man? Slice them, dice them. What the F is this? You cannot have a bigger line layup. You could not have had a bigger effing layup. Than a horrible candidate like Herschel Walker. So basically, like, again, this sort of behavior, I'm very sorry, if you defend this behavior online, this is unacceptable. On a streaming platform where you're seen by millions of people, okay, you never advocate for this sort of violence. This should not be allowed because this is really serious stuff, right? As for Michael Bayer, aka Central Committee, Tecton shared a clip of him putting a bounty on Destiny. Holy ass, guys, if you live in Florida, I have an opportunity for you. If you want to earn $100,000, let me know. Wow, that's crazy. Tecton is not the first one to call out Twitch to take action. This is also ex-user Toneman originally put a bounty on grooms. He put a bounty on grooms. This was like a few like 1 or 2 years ago. It says $20,000 to anyone that makes this person disappear. This is what this person said. And after I think he locked his account or blocked his account. Like, putting this sort of hateful comments online is not acceptable in any way or form. Denims upped the bounty in a stream saying, look, I'll up the number, okay? 30K to anyone who will make this person disappear and make Eve's breast bigger. Like, you have to do both. All right. Like, they say, oh no, I'm just joking. This is the streamer here, right? And when they get called out, they say, no, I was just joking. I was making fun. It was a rhetorical thing. I was just playing. Like, no, you don't say these things, man. These things, when you say them online, there's many people who have quite a lot of mental issues and take it the wrong way. That's the problem. They don't understand. Like, there are people online who don't understand these things. Like, they take things literally, and there's people who are deranged online and they take it as they're the heroes and they have to basically carry the justice of this group of people who is advocating for this violence because they believe that they're the hero. And this is a very dangerous thing. Again, I mean, Twitch brought this up upon themselves. Like, Twitch for years now has been allowing people to be very, very hateful in videos, for people to like call on violence. And again, this is really important. I don't care like what's your political angle. It is never acceptable for anyone to call on political violence or violence against other people online. It is never acceptable. Never. Because this sort of behavior is a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope that can only end really bad, man. Really bad, very bad, right? The CEOs of Twitter and Discord and Reddit and Steam have just been called to testify on the rise of leftist radicalization and open incitement of violence on their platforms. This comes as Twitch and Jeff Bezos refused to reprimand Hassan Piker for calling the world, unalive the conservatives in the streets. And Charlie Kirk's killer communicated with radicals on Discord. But yeah, I mean, that's it. This is literally the end game. Like, yes, you can have freedom of speech, but this is not really freedom of speech, is it now? This is like when you are advocating for violence of any form against other people, that's not really freedom of speech. That is literally extremism. That's radicalization. That's literally going beyond expressing yourself, because you can be respectful, you can disagree with someone on their political views. That's absolutely fine. If you believe that, Trump is not doing a good job, great stuff. It's your right to say that, no problem. But when these people advocate for violence and for very strong words, that's not acceptable in any shape or form. I mean, this was never acceptable. This was never, like, why did they allow this to happen in the first place? Like, what were they thinking? Like, these platforms like Twitch, especially Twitch, because Twitch is a really big player in people on Twitch putting their, like, doing streams and stuff and being very, very disturbed and saying very strong things online. This should never been allowed in the first place. And that's the problem, right? This is also the news here, game developer. Let's see if you can see it here. As you can see here, United States Congress, they were asked to go there and participate. Really strong stuff. So yeah, guys, Twitch is having a really difficult moment right now, but they brought it upon themselves. Literally. Right? It says here, XQC comments on Congress inviting the CEOs of Twitch, Discord, and Steam. Says Reddit and Discord need looking into, but not Twitch or Steam. Such a waste of time, tax money, what a joke. No, I mean, Steam, honestly, I don't know, to be honest, because I never really go to forums in Steam. I don't use forums in Steam. I don't have time for that crap. But Twitch, I have seen many people on Twitch putting very disturbing videos and hateful comments, and that's just not acceptable. I'm very sorry. That is just beyond like the level of acceptance any company should have, because when you let that happen and when you allow for that to happen, guess what's going to happen next? People are going to be radicalized. And like I said, there are people out there who have certain mental conditions who don't understand things properly, and they see this stuff, they get influenced, and then they make the wrong decision in their life and they ruin other people's lives. Exactly what has happened recently. That's the problem. Okay, so guys, that's it for today's video on this one. Let's see what happens. But honestly, again, they literally brought it upon themselves Twitch and all these platforms, of course, they have to respect freedom of speech, but at the same time, if people openly call for this sort of violence, I mean, we have AI tools which are super advanced right now, which can capture words, they can capture sounds, they can classify, identify, categorize. Like the algorithm, when you publish a video on YouTube, the algorithm listens to every single word you say in the video, so it knows exactly what you're talking about even before putting the video in public, right? So there's no excuse for them to basically like say, oh, we don't know what to do, XYZ. No, you know what to do exactly, because you have the tools to curb this sort of behavior, which was always a bad idea. Like, to let this sort of stuff happen and not do anything about it, it was always a bad idea. So guys, that's it for today's video. As always, I shall see you later in the next ones. Bye.